Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of the Panorama tutorials. So the first part was about how to set up the pano head and take pictures of the client's image. And now we're going to take the SD card with those images on it, and we're going to stitch them all together to make one high quality panorama. So to do that, we need this software, PTgui. So go ahead and double click on that, open that up. It stands for Panorama Tools Graphical User Interface. Sounds really high-techy and complicated, but it's really not that bad. If you click on Load Images, it'll take you to a file browser, and we want to select all the images we're going to stitch. So I'm going to do this mural here. I'm going to click on the first image, and then hold Shift and click on the last image, and hit Open. And there are a couple of reasons I'm doing this mural instead of the map from the first tutorial. One is it has 60 images as opposed to 100, and it'll take less time to stitch together for this tutorial. And the other reason is when I stitch this one together, it actually has a specific problem that I'd like to teach you how to overcome and fix on your own in this tutorial. So I want to replicate that problem. Okay, I'm going to hit Align Images, and now it's going to try to do the stitching. So it's finding the matching parts between two images and then connecting them with control points to say, oh, this part matches this part, so we're just going to stitch them together. And it's just going to make hundreds of those control points and stitch these images together. But it's going to take a while, so I'm just going to fast forward. Okay, so it's just finishing up analyzing the images, and then it's going to create control points. Okay, finishing up, and we're going to get an error message. You might not get one in your case if you're using a different set of images, and in that case, that's awesome. Then you don't have to do this extra step. But in my case, it's going to have this error message that says, PTgui has analyzed your images but was not able to match all of them. You will need to add a few control points before the panorama can be stitched. So basically it couldn't find some of the matching parts between two images, and so we have to manually find them and set them as control points. So to do that, we need to go to the Control Points Editor, and you can do that by hitting Yes on this window. I'm going to hit No though, to show you what's going on with this panorama. So you should have a new window in PTgui that has a preview of your panorama. So go to that and notice that the top right corner is missing, and it looks like they might be in the middle of the image on this girl's head. So what we need to do is go to this Edit Individual Images icon, click on that, and then notice how 64 is way down here, but it should probably be up here. So I'm going to click and drag it to the top right corner. Just do a rough job of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to drag 63. Okay, it looks like those were the only images that were not in the right place. Everything else looks pretty good. So what we need to do is set the control points for 63 and 64. So we're going to have to go back to our other window and click on this Control Points tab. And now we can go in to any image and look at the control points. So here I'm on 44, let me look at 45, and those are the matching parts. Okay, so we wanted to fix 63 and 64. To do that, we're going to need to connect 62 to 63. So let's take a look at 62 on the left-hand side and 63 on the right. Okay, there are no control points, so we need to put them in ourselves. And it's actually kind of fun. It's kind of like a game. You just find the matching parts and click on them. So I'm going to click on this little section where the three colors come together and do that on my other image. Now I'll do this branch. You just want to find those points of contrast and then match them up. What happened probably is this pink blob might have confused PTgui because it doesn't have many points of contrast. It's just kind of one shade of pink, and so PTgui was confused as to what parts it was supposed to set as control points, so that's why we have to do it manually. Okay, once PTgui gets the hang of it though, it'll start to automatically set the second point on the right hand side. So that was actually automatically done on the right. I didn't do that, which is kind of nice. Let me do one last one just to get at least 4. I think the rule of thumb is at least 3 control points, but I just like to be safe and get a couple extra more. Okay, that should be good. Let's now do 64. So I'm going to have 63 on my left hand side, 64 on my right, and then I'm going to set more control points. I'll try to do this quickly. Okay, that looks good. Let's go to our project assistant. And this button right here is really important. You need to optimize the project after you've manually set those control points, and that way it'll take your manually set control points into account. Okay, the optimizer is optimized, and now it looks like it's very good status. That's awesome. I'm going to hit OK. And now let's check out our Panorama Editor. And I'm going to go back to this Edit Entire Panorama icon. And it looks like the balloon is in place. Everything looks good. Awesome. So I know it seems kind of tedious, but setting those manual control points can be really important in stitching your final panorama. Okay, so now I'm ready to export this. So I'm going to go to my other window and hit Create Panorama. And now it asks us the width and height. I'm going to click Set Optimum Size, and that'll be the biggest size it can go to. It's going to take the original size of the individual images and combine them. So this is a huge, huge picture. Okay, now file format JPEG, unless you want to work with TIFF. Sometimes Photoshop will not be able to handle such a large image, so you might need to go to Photoshop Large. I've never tried using QuickTime VR, but I usually just export to JPEG. And it looks like quality's at 95%. That's pretty good. And it looks like the name is going to be Image 0012 Panorama. I'm probably going to change that. So let me just browse first. For the desktop, I want to export this to my desktop, hit save, and now I'm going to change my name, probably to, let's see, Juvenile Lib Mural. Okay, create panorama. It's saying that it's stitching to an image wider or higher than 30,000 pixels, and it's going to be super big, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm going to proceed anyway. Or you can choose this recommended option, the TIFF output. That's just a high quality image format, but I'm just going to do JPEG. So it's just finishing up now, and now I can go check out my panorama. So I'm going to go to my desktop, open this guy up, okay, it's finally loaded. I'm going to zoom in and check out this quality. Looks great. It's not even pixelated. And I'm zoomed in a ton. And now, zoomed in this close, you can actually see some little secrets that the artist left for us. Let's look at these two tiny figures. Maybe birds. Over here, there's a person sitting on this flying leaf. And on a regular photo, if we just took one photo of this mural instead of doing the panorama, that would probably be like 1 pixel, and it would just be like a blur. We wouldn't be able to see any detail. But now with this high quality panorama, we can see so much more. Here's another kid on a leaf. I thought it was cool. I actually noticed that there's a scripture on this fort. See that in blue? I think it says Moses 3:19 or 3:18. Can't really see very well, actually. And there's also some writing on the giant's waistband here. Anakim Min. 1 Samuel 17. Probably the story of Samuel and Goliath. Super cool. So, that's all I had for you today. And hopefully you feel comfortable to go and make your own panoramas now. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call at Software Training or shoot me an email or something. I'd be happy to help. Okay, best of luck.